What is up? What is up, my brother? How are you? Come back from the gym just now, late night one. Yeah, man. Same here, bro. Finished up not too long ago. Quick chest, back workout. Yo, we just jumped to 10 people. Amazing. How's everyone doing today, man? Yo, Ali, life is hard. I'm broke, 19-year-old, didn't go uni, dead broke with no future. Bro, listen, man, it's not as bad as you think it is. Now, I'm not telling you to stay broke. You should definitely address that problem, right? But you can fix that very quickly by getting a 9 to 5. I know when you're young and you see all these guys on Instagram flexing with their APs and their Lamborghini Aventadors, you think to yourself, man, I don't want to work no fucking job. Fuck that shit, man. I want to be an entrepreneur. I get that. I get that. But in the meantime, you've got to address the lack of money. You can't be laying in bed feeling sorry for yourself. You got to go out there and work and remove your pride. A job is a job. As long as it's moral, legal, and ethical, then you should proceed, right? So you can work anywhere. You can work as a waiter in a restaurant. You can work as a warehouse operative, right? At a warehouse, at a factory. Remove your pride. Get the money, bro. Start making money quickly. Get a weekly paid job or whatever, man. You need money coming in. That will eliminate the anxiety that you experience when you go to bed every night. Because I don't know about you, man. When you don't have money, you feel anxious, bro. Your chest hurts. Your hairline recedes when you have no money. The money goes and the hairline goes with it, right? Salam Ali. Just finished the strategy vid. Great value, mashallah. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. So, guys, if you haven't heard already, I have released a day trading course. I've been coming to the office late night to record content for it. So, if you're looking to day trade, click on the link in my Instagram bio or TikTok bio and take a look from there. Any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you for the shout out, my brother. Now, look, once you've addressed the lack of money, then you can start thinking about how you can make more money outside of your 9 to 5. Jim Rohn used to say, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. I'm going to say that one more time because I don't think you guys caught that. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job, meaning it's great that you've put in those 8, 9 hours for a company. But what are you doing when it comes to yourself? Because that company has zero fucking loyalty towards you. They will fire you without any hesitation. You are another number to them. You think they give a shit? You think if you, God forbid, you passed away today, they would never hire another employee again? Mate, they'll have a job listing a few days after you pass away, up and running. Oh, we grieved him. He was a great guy. But business is business. They don't give a shit about you. So build your own shit. Now, look, I get it. Not everybody is going to be cut out to be an entrepreneur, but at least try and figure out ways of making more money. Even if it's another 100, $200 a month, 500 a month. I think there was a study done many years ago, which I heard, that says an extra 500 a month changes your lifestyle dramatically. You might not think £500 or $500 is a lot of money, but it does. With an extra 500 every month, you feel that a little bit more comfortable. Okay? Hey, bro, I don't know what's wrong with me. Every morning I wake up, every night before I sleep, I think of my ex that did me dirty. I want to change that, but can't find anyone to replace her. Listen, man, you're competing with her on who can move on the quickest. That's not healthy, bro. You should be focusing on how you can level up. You don't need somebody right now, especially if the breakup is recent. Because I guarantee you that person that you try and exploit to make you feel better about the breakup is most likely not going to be the right person for you. They call it a rebound, right? That's not the right person for you. You're still hurt. You're still angry. You're going to use that person in the most exploitative of manners. And it's not fair on that person either. So you should focus on yourself, man. Get yourself in the right place. You look, listen, man, when I broke up with the girl that I was with for many years, man, I didn't even bother dating anybody for the next few years after that. And look, I'm a single man right now. And even now, I don't feel the need to go out there and find me a woman. I'm focused on myself. I know that the more I improve, the more options I have. Now, don't get me wrong. I could get married today like that if I wanted to. I could, make a couple of phone calls. Boom, done, sorted. But I don't just want to marry any woman. I want the right woman for me. And how do you ensure that you come across the right woman? By you becoming the right man. Now, this is one thing I'm going to say to you guys that believe in hookup culture, but then you want a virgin wife. Bro, it all starts with you, man. You attract what you are. If you're a fucking whore, then you're going to attract the equivalent in the opposite sex. You got to clean up your act, man. If you want to be a man of God and you want a woman who believes in God, it starts with you, bro. Okay? Starts with you. Right? Because look, one day some of you guys will have daughters. And if you're a fucking whore right now, do you want your daughter to be dating a guy similar to you? No. Clean up your act. Look, I know not everybody's going to take my advice on this because some people that follow me don't necessarily believe in God or whatever. I'm just telling you the way I see life. I believe in the phrase soul ties. I know it's cringe for a lot of you guys, but I believe that you shouldn't be laying with anybody. Don't sleep with anybody, man. Some people are bad for you. They've rubbed genitalia with hundreds of people, and then they lay with you. You're just another number, another one ticked off the list. And a lot of guys brag about that. Oh, yeah, man, I slept with this girl. Yeah, yeah, but she slept with 100, 200 other people. Whereas finding a woman, look, I'm not saying that you're going to find you a virgin, right? Because some of you guys, you're not virgins, right? So I get that. And it's quite unrealistic in this day and age to expect that. Okay, and that's why I don't believe in asking questions around virginity and shit like that. Because ultimately, you'll never know. She'll say something, but look, she may be telling the truth. She may be lying. That number may be downsized a little bit to make her seem less of a promiscuous person. So I don't bother asking questions relating to that stuff. However, as I mentioned earlier, you attract what you are. So clean up your act, man. Don't be laying with anybody. There are plenty of low-value women and not many high-value women. Okay? Same with guys. And I think a lot of people underestimate the amount of sexual discipline it takes to be a high-value man. I know you see it on every podcast nowadays. All these red pill guys talking about how you should go out there and sleep with 50, 100, 200 women before you get married. I don't believe in that. I believe the habits that you engage in will affect your future. If you go out there and sleep with 50, 60, 70 women, you're not going to become a good husband all of a sudden when you flick the switch and you find yourself a lady that you like. Those bad habits will still be affecting you in some way. You're still going to have that itch. Look, I'm a man. I get it. I get that urge, man. Right? In a dream world, I think every guy would love to go out there and sleep with hundreds of beautiful women and there be no repercussions. But we don't live in a fantasy world. We live in a practical, real world where there's consequences. I know a couple of friends who have impregnated the wrong women. There's a friend of mine who's done that with 2 women who he never wanted to marry. They were just one night stands, and now he's got 2 kids from 2 different women, and then he's having to go and visit his kids, and it's just a mess. And that is a consequence of his actions. Right? And so, look, man, you got to make sure that you make calculated moves. You got to be smart. You got to be sexually disciplined. The book Think and Grow Rich talks about this shit. Harness that sexual transmutation, right? That sexual energy. They call it sexual transmutation. Harnessing that horniness, essentially, and directing it towards a creative endeavor, a business that you want to start, something that you want to launch. That's a common trait amongst very successful people is they are sexually disciplined. They don't go out there and just fuck everything that moves. They understand that, you know what, if I'm going to launch this business and I'm going to take it to a whole new level, I need to be very, very focused, right? Depth is everything, guys, not width. What I mean by that is it's much better to be with a woman that, of course, you find very attractive, but there's more to her than just her looks. She's supportive, she's kind, she's affectionate, she respects you, she wants your babies, she brags about you to her friends. She's a woman of God. That's the kind of woman that you want, fellas. Don't settle for less. Instead of going out there and sleeping with loads of low value women that have been passed around, connect with one woman who can get more out of you as a guy. Guys, make sure you give this this live a like because YouTube will promote the video. A man who retains his seed is a focused man. A focused man is a dangerous man. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, I believe in that. I truly believe in that. But unfortunately, there's so much garbage advice on YouTube. All of these guys telling you, oh no, sleep with 200 before you get married. Bro, when are you going to have time to work on your business? When are you going to have time to make something happen? You're out there just sleeping with anything. I mean, some of these creatures are not even human. Come on, man. Have some self respect. And this applies to guys as well, by the way, before the women say things like, oh, you're shaming women. No, there are some guys out there, ogres. No self respect. Right? Ali, how to get big in the gym? Well, what do you mean by getting big? See, when you're young, you're fascinated by being huge. And I used to have this mindset. I want to be massive. And then as I got older, I realized, you know what? You want a functional body. You want to be able to run a 5K like it's nothing. You want to be able to do 20, 30 pull ups in one go. You want to be able to bench and squat your body weight at least, right? But being huge, I mean, a lot of these guys in the gym that are absolutely massive, huge biceps up to here, a lot of these guys can't run a kilometer, let alone 5 kilometers. So it's about being functional. If you look at these MMA guys, their bodies are functional. They can beat the fuck out of you, which is why I encourage you guys to not only go to the gym to build muscle, but also to learn how to fight. Because what good is all those muscles? What good are all those muscles if you can't defend yourself? Right? What do you do on weekends, and do you ever feel lonely, bored? On weekends, spend time with my family because a man that doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man. If you know, you know, right? Uh, Go to a nice coffee shop, have a nice cortado, go to the gym. Obviously, it's because it's Ramadan right now. I can't exactly have a coffee during the day, but soon come. Um, it depends, man. It depends on what's in my schedule. I come to the office, I record content. Yeah, go for a nice walk. I love walking, man. I love being outside when it's sunny and just going for a long walk. I'm 17, and thanks to your advice, I decided I'm going to focus on myself and do my driving lessons. Good man. Good man. Get them out of the way early. That's what I encourage when it comes to, getting a license and driving. Get it out the way early, as young as possible. What was young Ali like after he left secondary school? Honestly, man, confused, broke, skinny. But that was just young Ali. Look, don't be ashamed with where you're at right now in life if you're really young. You got to give yourself time. You can't plant a seed today and get frustrated if it's not a tree tomorrow. Things take time. Now, because of social media, we live in a world where people expect things to happen yesterday. There's no patience anymore. Oh, I tried drop shipping for a week, didn't work, on to the next. Oh, trading, I'm not a millionaire trader. I've been doing it for 3 weeks, nothing. On to the next. That mindset will harm you in the long run. Your body, even. Your body changes, man. You got look, I only really got my man body when I was like 24, 25. I was a skinny bastard up until that point. Weasel, right? Things take time. And so, I get this message all the time. I'm 17, Ali. I'm 16. I'm ashamed. I'm not where I want to be in life. I'm like, you're a baby still. Now, I'm not giving you the license to go out there and do nothing and just jack off all over yourself. No, you got to, of course, hit the gym and work on yourself, but you're still young. Be kinder to yourself, man, because one day you'll look back and you'll just fondly recall some of those memories that you had when you were 17 and 16 with a smile on your face. Even the broke days, man, even the days where you had nothing. You didn't even have two nickels, as they say, to rub together, right? Those days you're going to look back at and you're going to smile. Man, those days, me and my friend, you're going to giggle about it, right? So when you're 17, enjoy being 17. Yeah, it comes with its disadvantages. You're skinny, you're broke most of the time, right? But at the same time, you'll never be 17 forever. Remember that. Yes, Joe, I am doing stupendously well, brother. Thank you for asking, man. How many coffees do you drink a day? Well, now because it's Ramadan, I drink two. So one after Maghrib and then one a little bit later. But yeah, usually when it's not Ramadan and I'm not fasting, two or three. Honestly, love semen retention, but the withdrawals are very hard as I start feeling depressed. Look, when it comes to semen retention, let me make something very clear. If you've got a woman and you're married, because I preach marriage, right? You can bust several times a day if you want. I'm not against the idea of ejac, as Theo Von says, right? Of releasing. However, if you're single and you want to work towards something meaningful and you want to get shit done, then get your fucking hands away from yourself. Because if you're always playing with yourself, you're going to delay your progress. Because self-pleasuring is stupid when you think about it. It doesn't lead to anything. There's no procreation. There's no kids coming out of it. There's no pleasuring a woman. Because I don't consider ejaculating a waste if you have a woman in your life. Because, it might be good for her skin, if you know what I'm saying. But also it could lead to a baby. So it's not a waste. But when you're pleasuring yourself and busting gallons all over yourself, stupid. I mean, you look at yourself after you're finished and you're like, what the fuck was I doing, man? You go through that period of sadness an hour after releasing, right? So, yeah, nothing's wrong with ejaculating once you've got a good woman in your life and you're attracted to a man. You can bust all kinds of nuts. But if you're a single man because look, ejaculation is often accompanied by watching the PRN, by watching the hub, right? Usually. I mean, you don't really stare at a blank wall and bust one off, right? Unless you're a fucking psycho, right? So usually people watch some explicit content whilst they're doing it. So you're harming yourself in many ways. Hi, Ali. Can you talk more about careers? In what sense, brother? Daniel asked, hi, Ali. What's some advice you can give me about overcoming challenges that make me anxious and seem scary to do? Well, if they're scary to do, it means you have to do them. There is no other way. I wish there was. I used to look for shortcuts back in the day when I was younger, 20, 21. Oh, I don't want to do that. Let me just find a quicker way of doing it. As Akala says, the UK rapper, take shortcuts, get cut short. If you try and find a shortcut, it will harm you. Easy come, easy go, as they say. So if it's difficult, good. It may take some time, but once you actually go through it and you overcome the difficulty, you will at least sustain the progress and then build upon it. So, for example, trading. So I trade the market and I educate some people. With trading, if you're looking for the holy grail strategy that never loses and everything, and you're trying to find a shortcut without you having to do anything, or now, for example, in the world of trading, there's a lot of these scammy AI robots that will supposedly trade for you and you'll never have to trade again. Scams. If you're looking for things like that, you're going to get hurt. However, if you tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to learn this thing because once I learn it, I can provide for myself for the rest of my life. It's like that saying, right? Give a man a fish, you'll feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish, you'll feed him for a lifetime. It's that philosophy of teaching yourself how to fish. You know what? I've got the skill now. Yes, it was difficult in the early stages. And look, when I say it was difficult, guys, one thing I like to say nowadays is it's not difficult, it's new. Because I'm a big believer in changing your words. It's not difficult, it's new. So you're not yet accustomed to the terminologies and what this means and what that means. So don't overwhelm yourself and say, oh, this is so difficult. No. Because I'll tell you this, especially when it comes to trading, for example, there's a lot of fucking retards out there that are making really good money. And I know somebody's probably going to clip this in the future and be like, Ali's derogatory. I'm just saying. Some of these guys probably have two cells running around in their mind, but they can trade the market. Right? So it's new. It's not difficult. It's new. Change it. And look, when it comes to, for example, learning a combat sport, you want to get beaten up a few times. And you will, believe me. You know, the first time you guys start jujitsu, you'll notice that some of the guys in there, you look at and you're like, what's this little fucking midget going to do? Nothing. And then he grabs you and chokes the shit out of you. And you're like, fucking hell, that was a humbling experience. A guy 30 kilograms, 40 kilograms lighter than you just playing around with you. You need to be bad before you're good and good before you're great. Remember that. You need to be bad before you're good and good before you're great. It's a process. Right? It takes usually 10 years to become a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You can't fast track that to 6 months. You can't. You need the years to go by of consistent work, refining your craft. You can't just buy your way. You can't buy that experience. You got to go through it. That's why oftentimes rich people respect somebody who's in shape, even if he's broke, because there was no way he could have bought that progress. He had to actually exert time over a certain period to achieve that physique that he has, and nutritional discipline on top of that as well. You are a role model. You are doing the work of God. Need more like you, brother. I appreciate that, Mark. Thank you, man. When you talked about trading, you talked about the importance of getting a stable income to fund our trading, but you haven't mentioned much about obtaining good employment, interviews, workspace problems, dealing with. Well, I mean, I haven't got many of those questions yet. Okay, so if you have a specific question about how you conduct yourself in the workplace, things like that, I'll be happy to answer that, bro. And I believe that's not the case just for people that want to do trading. For people that want something entrepreneurial, you got to keep your job and get good at your job so that you can fund your entrepreneurial endeavors. Don't just, look, if you're short on cash right now, you're unemployed, get any job as long as it's moral, legal, and ethical. After you've collected a couple of paychecks, start looking for a better job, a job where you can progress. Because in an environment like that, the quality of people, when it comes to people that may potentially offer you more value so that you can earn more money, is usually higher, right? There are more opportunities for you to earn more money in better companies, right? And so I want you guys to raise your income as much as you can, because that income will fund your business, will fund your trading career, will fund your Shopify store, whatever it is that you want to do. Now, at a certain point in time, once you've got enough money in the bank for you to walk away from that job and not worry about money for a good year or two, then you can do it then, right? But up until that point, keep your job. And when it comes to interviewing and things like that, I've made videos about that in the past. You got to talk like you are the real deal, because you are. They need to feel that, because they hear it all the time, but they need to feel it. It's very different. Because look, you can get two people who say the same things, but one person just hits home whilst the other person doesn't. Because you can see it in a man's eyes when he doesn't believe in himself. You can. And you can hear it in his voice. But when a man believes in himself, he walks with authority. His posture is excellent. His tonality is brilliant. And that hits home. The interviewer is going to be like, wow, very impressive. This guy takes himself very seriously. And as you guys know, I believe in wearing the best suits, the best fragrances, dress to impress. You don't get a second chance at a first impression. You got to look immaculate. Would you ever visit Beverly Hills, California, bro? You seem like the type of dude that's going to buy a villa there, driving a classic. Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Why not? Why not, man? All of you here need to understand that anything you want to do, overcome, or achieve will take time and discipline. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Ali, you look like Jon Snow. Even with the short hair, yeah? Ali, many men have not been told about certain things in life. They just been told about getting work and gym. They not been taught or told how to get good in bed and please a woman. It leads to divorce. Well, that's a whole different topic altogether. That is. It's very important, of course, to have a satisfying sexual life. And I think a lot of guys are just inherently lazy. It's very important if you have a woman in your life that you remember that it's not just about your needs, it's about her needs too. That's why you start with the woman. Foreplay, take your time. You know, I know a lot of guys want to get it over and done with 2 pumps and they're out. That might satisfy you, but then she's going to feel unsatisfied. Okay? So take the time, please her, get her going, touch her in all the right areas, in all the sensitive zones, the back of her ears, her neck, nipples, waist, inner thighs. Because look, women feel pleasure differently to men. With men, I mean, you can just suck a guy's dick as a woman and he'll bust and that's him done, right? But as a woman, they feel everything. That's why they say for a woman, sex starts outside of the bedroom. It's in what you say to her, the words, the eye contact, right? So foreplay, for those of you that don't know, is basically touchy time before the sex actually begins. The physical intercourse, shall we say, the penetrative acts. Kissing, the spanking, the choking, all of that stuff is foreplay. And you can obviously do that throughout having sex, of course. But the longer the foreplay, and it doesn't have to be 4 hours, you know, a man's got work to do, of course, right? But the longer the foreplay, the more satisfied the woman will be, of course. Wait, Ali, where do you live? I live in San Diego. I live in Milton Keynes. Doesn't sound as nice as San Diego. But yeah, man, I'll definitely come by at some point in the future, man. San Diego. Come say hi. The Way of a Superior Man. That's not just a book. That's literally a blueprint for a man. Brilliant book, man. Absolutely brilliant book. Definitely encourage every single one of you guys to get it. Believe it or not, my brother, but I watched one of your videos about gaining money to start Forex. Alhamdulillah, I got myself a new job in retail. I'll be starting next week. Amazing, bro. Amazing. Hi, Ali. I'm 17. I'm failing almost all my classes. I'm broke. I've fallen into bad habits. I'm dealing with procrastination. There's so much I want to accomplish in life. Any advice? Take it one problem at a time. Okay? You're broke, get a job. Believe me, a lot of the problems that you're experiencing right now, especially as a young man, are not as big as you make them out to be. You know, a lot of guys will say, I'm depressed, I'm depressed. Everyone's diagnosing themselves with depression. When it's not depression, it's just you've got a few things you need to sort out. Change the language, man. If you tell yourself, man, nothing's working out, I'm 17, I ain't got no job, then you're just going to be a victim. And when you're a victim, you don't want to do anything. That's why you sleep long. Instead of waking up at 8, 9 a.m., you sleep until 2 p.m. in the afternoon because you've convinced yourself you're a victim. And because you're sad and you lay in bed for many hours, you start playing around with yourself, you start busting gallons all over yourself, and that cycle continues. So take it one problem at a time. Sit down and be like, right, cool. I'm unemployed. I need to get a job. Start making some phone calls, apply online. If you're out of shape, you can't afford a gym membership, start doing some push-ups. Man, push-ups are free. Get yourself one of these bars and start doing pull-ups, or go to your local park. Most of them have pull-up bars, right? Do 20 pull-ups. Go for a run. I mean, a lot of these problems can be very easily solved for free, right? Do you have a tip for burnout, specifically YouTube burnout, if possible? Um, well, look, man, I mean, I don't really, how can I put it? Burnout comes when you're not taking care of other aspects of your life. If you're hitting the gym, if you're maintaining some level of a social life, which I encourage you guys to do, I don't mean go out every day, no, but you're occasionally meeting up friends, having to catch up, then it's harder to feel that burnout. Because, for example, when it comes to creating content, it doesn't really take that long, does it? If you're making one video a day, what, 20 minutes? And then you edit the video, let's say another 20 minutes. That's less than an hour a day. I think what it is you're not happy with the results. It's not necessarily burnout. It's I'm not really seeing the results that I want to be seeing. It's almost some disappointment around the results. But when it comes to burnout, good, you should be tired. At least you know you're getting some work done. If you're like, fuck, man, I'm knackered, man. I've done 1,000 videos, I've done this or that. I've been hitting the gym every day for the last 4 months. You should be proud of yourself because most guys don't really experience burnout because they're not doing enough. And look, I'll tell you this as well, controversial opinion. Maybe you're not really burning out. Maybe you're just not used to this amount of work. Oh, I don't think you guys are ready for that. Maybe you've just never worked this hard before. And so it's completely new to you. Because I promise you this, your hard work for somebody else is nothing. There are guys out there that would sit in front of a screen for 8 hours coding or fucking back testing the market if you're a trader. There are guys that run for 3 hours a day. I mean, I'm not saying that that's better or that's good necessarily because everybody has different goals. But you might think you're working hard, but somebody else is just running laps around you. And those are the people that you should gain inspiration from. You should be inspired by their work ethic, that they should make you feel like, fuck, I'm not doing enough. There I was. I thought I was burning out. This motherfucker's out there posting 4 videos a day, and I thought one a week was a lot or 2 a week. Come on, man. I need to step up the intensity. Oh, yes, bro. This is an important question. How do I gain abs if I'm trying to bulk at the same time? I'm trying to lower the body fat percentage but gain muscle. Just make sure, well, first of all, make sure that you cut down the body fat as much as possible before you start bulking. Because if you're 25% body fat and you're bulking and you're trying to see the abs, I'm sorry to say it's not really going to happen. You need to take that body fat down as low as you can, 11, 10%. Then you're going to start seeing some. Look, it's all food, man, nutrition. 16%. Well, I would encourage you to get down to maybe about 12 to 11. And even 12 to 11, you don't really see them, all 6 of them coming out. You might see 4 and then the last 2 are trying to make an appearance, right? So get it as low down as possible and then slowly start increasing the calories. Get into a calorie surplus initially of 200, then 350, and see how your body's reacting. Because what a lot of guys do wrong is they get really lean and then they start eating shit again. Oh man, I'm craving fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken, chips, whatever. And then they call it dirty bulking, right? They add all that fucking fat right back on. And then they have to undo the damage again. So slowly, okay? A clean bulk, exactly. 9, not so much. I would say 10 to 12. For some, look, genetics determine quite a lot in people. Some people are fortunate enough to be able to see their abs with a higher body fat percentage, but some will need to go leaner in order to see more of their abs. Okay, just get a bit leaner, man. Get a bit leaner, or burn more calories. Like you can cut the body fat percentage down by getting into a deficit or by burning more calories. Guys, make sure you give this live a like just so that YouTube promotes the live in the algorithm because otherwise they'll hide it. Ali, I hope this isn't a weird question about how much do you make in a year. That information is private. If there's two things you never disclose in life, it's your income and your personal love life. But alhamdulillah, I do okay for myself. The number could always be higher, and that's what we're working towards every single day. But yeah. No, no, don't apologize, brother. Don't apologize. It's just a philosophy I live with. People cannot attack that which they do not know. I'm not saying that I'm a secret billionaire or some shit, but that information is best kept private. What is your main source of income? Well, I do coaching for men when it comes to self improvement. I have released a course around day trading. I also day trade as well, of course. So I've got two main sources of income: day trading and online coaching. I think Ali doesn't spend his money foolishly and knows how to invest and save. Well, it wasn't always this way. One of the biggest mistakes I made early on in my 20s was financing shit. Man, I would get a credit card and start buying out everything, bro. I would be so stupid with my money, and that ruined my credit. That ruined my credit, man. Absolutely. Because I couldn't afford the payments and then I went behind. I made bad mistakes in my early 20s, man. So if there's one thing I would tell you, young men, is be careful. Don't be getting a credit card out and then buying PS5s and financing holidays and shit. No, don't be doing that. What do you think about traditional jobs with freelance like incentives, generous bonus and commission from closing deals? I think that's fantastic, man. Absolutely. If there are more avenues for you to grow and make money, that's fantastic. It's better than just being paid by the hour. You can close a deal and make X amount of commission, then there's another incentive for you. Do I want to move to Dubai? Are you in Dubai, bro? You know what I'm saying? Are you in Dubai? Look, my brother, my twin brother. So for those of you that don't know, I have a twin brother. He's not as handsome as me, but he's my twin. I'm just fucking around. Bless him. But he's in Dubai and he keeps telling me, Ali, man, when are you moving here? And I don't know yet. I don't know whether or not I'm actually leaning towards the idea. I see that Dubai has quite a lot of mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people hate it. I have to go and see it for myself before I make a decision, you know? Ali, I see you burning the midnight oil. Mashallah. Thank you, brother. You know how it is, man. Bro, I want a aesthetic body where you can see every abs. How should my workout routine? Okay, look, it's all about your diet, man. If you want to see your abs all year round, you need to be very disciplined with your food. And look, my gym routine is a combination. It's usually push, pull, legs. Sorry, upper, lower, cardio, upper, lower. That's my routine. Do you enjoy England? You know what? Yeah. England isn't, it's not terrible, but it's also not brilliant. It's just I mean, it's getting worse. I will say that. It is getting worse. Taxes are getting higher, right? Laws are changing. However, my philosophy when it comes to living in a country is create your own economy. Regardless of what's happening around you, ensure that you are playing the game the right way. You're making the right moves on the chessboard. The average person who relies on the government for a good quality of life will complain when the government does something that they don't like. But somebody who knows that the government doesn't really give a shit about me will position himself in the best possible way. Now, look, a lot of people have left the UK and have not looked back. A lot of people have left and then come back. So it depends. It depends on many things. I think some countries offer you incredible safety, which in some parts of the UK you don't really have. Some offer you a tax free environment. And for a lot of people, religion, an environment where there is good religious sort of grounds is very important to them. The UK for me is home away from home. I'm originally Libyan, but I didn't really spend a lot of time in Libya. I spent 4 years before I moved here to the UK. Libya is not a country I can really see myself going back to anytime soon due to the instability in the region. But the Middle East is very appealing. I've heard great things about Latin America as well, South America, Colombia, Cuba. Um, I know there's quite a lot of tax breaks as well, incentives. What's that country now as well? Salvador, who have a great president who's cracking down on crime and incentivizing people to open businesses there relating to AI and crypto and low taxes. So there's a lot of great places out there. I just don't know yet. I don't know yet where I'll go. I'll just have to go and visit places to see how I feel. For me, I like a place with heritage, with history. I like a place that, you know, I can walk around the city and feel like, you know what, man, this is a nice, clean, beautiful city to look at. I'm a big buildings guy. I love beautiful buildings because buildings inspire. I believe in that. Good architecture can change the mood of the people. If you want people to feel demoralized, just build multi story cement car parks everywhere and ugly buildings. You know, that's why I was really leaning towards Italy for many years. I've been there twice, Rome specifically twice. But I've really wanted to go to Florence for quite some time because I hear beautiful things about Florence as well. But I don't know if Italy's a great place to live in long term. I don't know. So I'll have to see. I'll have to see. A lot of it is just going there for a visit and then figuring out whether or not you like it. Do you trade with leverage? I have done some research and find out that it's haram. It's not, brother. It's not. But yeah, I trade with leverage 1 to 100. I think you should look past the building and focus more on the society. Well, I'm not saying that the only reason I'd move to a place is because the buildings are nice. Obviously, there's other things that come into the equation, such as the safety in the area, the tax breaks if you're an entrepreneur. There's many things that come into the equation before you make a decision. However, I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. I like places that are beautiful, right? I started my first Etsy business, and for the past 2 days, I've been getting views but no sale. Bro, 2 days, yeah? Come on, man. You got to be more patient than that. 2 days. It takes plants longer to grow. Come on, man. You got to be, if you want to make this business something that will, get you out of your job and eventually become very prosperous, then you need to be patient. 2 days, bro. Come on. You don't go to the gym for 2 days and then be like, oh, hang on a second. Where's the six pack at? It takes time, bro. What are your thoughts on Latin women? Beautiful women. I've always said this, man. My wife is probably on some Colombian farm right now wearing a sundress, walking around with a book in her hand, and then she sees me roll up in my classic, in my Mercedes 300 SL, and she's like, oh, mi amor, you know? Yo, bro, the new style looking very nice. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it, man. Guys, give this live a like, man. I'm loving this conversation I'm having with you guys late night. You know what I mean? My course in A levels, I did biology, chemistry, and geography, and I got a C and 2 Ds. So I didn't do great in A levels, and I tried to retake Well, I did retake, and I didn't do well in the retakes either. So, yeah, man. Look, for those of you that are like, "Oh shit, man, my life's not." Listen, bro, I fucked up my A levels. All of my friends went to uni that year, and I thought, man, I'm gonna be an idiot, man. I'm gonna end up working for somebody else for the rest of my life, and I was worried, man. I was anxious, and I thought it was the end of the world, but it wasn't, man. It wasn't. Things worked out. Just because you don't know how, it doesn't mean they won't work out. Okay? How often do you stream? Well, if you guys like it, if you guys like the fact that I'm doing these lives, I can stream every day if you want. I'm enjoying this. I just wonder if YouTube cares about streaming as much as like regular videos, like 10-minute videos. If they like streaming, I could stream every day, bro. I don't mind. I actually enjoy this. Look, it's 46 minutes I've been on here. You know what I mean? If you guys enjoy these streams, I could stream every day. Ali, how did you start public speaking, brother? What would you recommend to build charisma? Good question, man. Public speaking is something I began at the age of what, 20, 19, 20 was when I first got my opening. Um, there were many speaking engagements that I was interested in, and I've always been drawn to people that can communicate effectively. I've always been inspired by them. Wow, man, look at the way they're communicating and look at how they're gripping the audience. Everyone's looking and wow, nodding their heads. I wanted to be that guy. So I started getting into speaking engagements. I was also, and I'm not very proud of to say this, but it's an experience. I was also part of a couple of MLMs back when I was 20 and 21, right? And they got me in front of people as well. I was doing presentations for the business, promoting the service, of course. There were periods where I was talking in front of 100, 200 people, right? So I was consistently speaking in front of large groups and I enjoyed it. I started to think to myself, you know what? I like this. And I'd learn about body language. Communication is both verbal and nonverbal. So it's not just what you say, but it's also what your body does as well. If you're like this, or your hands are in your pockets and you're looking down, people can sense you're not confident. They'll be like, look at this guy, man. He's been stood in the same spot for the last 30 minutes. So you start learning. And one way I learn is by observing great speakers, the likes of Jordan Peterson, Russell Brand, Les Brown, Jim Rohn. I like how they communicate. Okay. Someone said it's not something to be proud of. Multi-level marketing is basically a business model that is set up so that you recruit people, an army of people that will help you sell a service. Now, it's not the best business model, I'll be honest with you. But when you're young and you're broke, anything is exciting to you. And a lot of people in MLM will sell you a dream. It's like, companies like Amway, Herbalife, ACN, companies like that. They'll tell you, hey, man, if you get in here, we'll build a team, we can make $1 million a year, and they start talking a load of shit. And so, look, there are great things to learn in any endeavor that you're a part of, but it's not a sustainable way of making money long term. Okay. Essentially, it's a pyramid scheme. Exactly. Essentially, to cut a long story short. I have this woman in my mind at all times, but she doesn't know who I am, and I was scared to approach her, and now I may never bump into her again. Where did you see her? On the train? Hey, bro, looking sharp. Thank you, my brother. I like the new haircut. Appreciate it, bro. Forex trading so long, man. Look, your language, bro. Change your language. Why is it so long? Have you been running around in circles, watching YouTube video after YouTube video? Because that does get very frustrating. This guy says I should do this. This guy says I should do that. I get it. I've been there. That's why I decided to stick to one thing and learn it properly. She is one of a kind. But if you don't know her, how can you say she's one of a kind? Bro, eliminate that simpy ass language of yours, man. She's one of a kind. No, bro, come on, man. You don't know her. You can't say that about someone if you don't know them. If you're simply saying that based off of the way she looks, well, then you're just probably horny. You find her attractive and you want to smash. Come on, man. Just keeping it real with you, bro. Is it worth learning to trade at 18? Well, at 18, I encourage you to try a lot of things out, see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. I tried a lot of things out. I tried drop shipping, Amazon, FBA, a few things out, and I leaned more towards trading. Okay. For me, it was less hassle, less overheads, and I was curious about the way the market moved. Okay. So everybody's different. I'm not saying that trading is for everybody. Okay. But try things out and see what works for you. Is there any conspiracies out there that you think are real, Ali? The moon landing was fake. Well, to be fair about the moon landing, I don't know if it was real or not. Just saying. There's a lot of dodgy shit in the videos. Um, she is though, bro. Looks wise, bro. It's her face. I don't care about her body. Yeah, but listen, when you're saying she's one of a kind, bro, look, there's a lot of beautiful women out there. There are a lot of beautiful women. If you live in the same spot and you never go elsewhere, then you might think she was the only one. But when you travel and you go to a big city, you'll see beautiful women, 10 out of 10s everywhere. You will. Okay. You have a scarcity mindset, bro. That's what it is. And you don't believe in yourself enough to find a better looking woman as well than her. Alhamdulillah, Isa, it's going well, my brother. When should you start with trading? Watching YouTube vid? Listen, I mean, I believe that free education will only take you so far. And there's a lot of contradicting information on YouTube. There's a lot of good information, but also contradicting information. And I'm the kind of person, I need things packaged. I need things in one place. If I have to go out there and gather all the information, it's a headache for me. That's why I invested in courses, right? And I would encourage you to do the same as well. What's your favorite part of Ramadan? Oh, beautiful question, man. For me, it's the fact that everybody who is a Muslim is trying their best in Ramadan. I like seeing people put effort, including myself. And of course, that effort shouldn't just be during the month of Ramadan. It should also be outside of Ramadan as well. You should always aspire to be a good person. You should always aspire to pray consistently, not just in Ramadan. But I just love how everybody's just trying their best to improve. Even people that know that they're a sinful bastard, right? Even people that have done the most heinous of crimes, sin-wise, right? Maybe whoring about, whatever. Even people like that are trying their best to clean up during Ramadan, which is beautiful. Yeah, man, the US economy right now is fucked. Man, America is just thinking, what the fuck are we going to do? The world doesn't want the dollar anymore. Interesting times come ahead. The office is beautiful. Had me forward thinking it was a green screen. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, bro. And it will look even better when the armchairs come, which is very soon. You know what, man? People like that, even if they're drug dealers or whatever, even they should be encouraged during Ramadan, because they may not return back to their old ways. As long as you're alive and you're breathing, you can change. And, God will always welcome you back. As long as you sincerely repent, he will forgive your sins. No sin is too big for God to forgive you, man. Remember that. Okay? Do you think they'll change the reserve currency of the world from the dollar? I think that the East is definitely shifting away from the US dollar. And I think a lot of that comes from the way that the US responded to the whole Ukraine situation. A lot of countries felt like, you know what, if the US can just fucking sanction a country and try and destroy its economy, why the fuck are we dealing with the US, man? They can do that to us at some point. So I think a lot of countries now are thinking to themselves, you know what? America might just turn on us at any moment. Let's start thinking of other avenues. And I think that China is offering them a better deal than the US. Now, I don't know too much about this shit, but from my research, especially the way that they're printing the US dollar right now, it's worthless. The thing is with Russia, what helped Russia's economy remain somewhat stable, and I would even say that they're probably doing better off now than they've ever been, it's because they actually sell real resources. They are a very resource rich country. Germany was heavily dependent on Russian oil. And look what happened when they stopped receiving that Russian oil. Their economy collapsed. You know, they were dependent on Russia. And when you're dependent on somebody, or overly dependent, shall I say, then you're fucked. Guys, make sure you give this live a like if you haven't already, um, just so that YouTube promotes my content and gets it to more people. People had enough of America. It's bound to happen. Yeah, I mean, look, powers do shift over time. And the power, it seems, is shifting from the west to the east. China are definitely making very strategic moves right now. So it will be interesting to see what happens. And obviously, America right now is becoming a laughing stock to the rest of the world. Look at the way they're dealing with Trump, a former president, accusing him of. Look, I don't know much about his crimes, but I know that they're doing it mainly so that he doesn't run again. They don't want him to run because they know he will absolutely blow any opponent out of the park. Right? And then you got a country where they changed the gender of kids at the age of 4 or 5. The Russians are just looking at America like, what the fuck's going on over there, man? And Trump said that he would reverse a lot of this shit, a lot of these laws that allow these clinics to operate on children and change their genders. He will change all of that. And that's something that I respect about Trump. I don't agree with everything he says, but you know what? He says what he means and he means what he says. How did you fix the audio? Honestly, it was annoying, man. And it's still a problem because I have to keep deleting the interface I have and then reinstalling it. So that's what I did. Is that a new living space? No, it's my office, brother. It's disgraceful what they're doing to these young kids, talking about sexuality, about changing genders, about it's awful. It's disgusting. When I was a young child, there was none of this bullshit. Kids were just being kids. And look, kids may do some dumb shit. They may pick up their sister's, like if you're a boy, you might pick up your sister's Barbie doll and play with it or whatever. Doesn't mean that you believe you're a woman at heart. I was born into the wrong body. No, you're a child. You do dumb shit. It's a weird, weird world we're living in right now. It's almost like there is an agenda to promote this shit. If you don't like it, then you're a bigot. You're a fucking transphobic guy. No, it's not that. I just don't believe you should talk to kids about this shit. If you want to be somebody who identifies as trans, you can do that. I'm not going to go out of my way to insult you. I don't care. As long as you don't come to my environment and tell me how I should raise my kids, you know, do you. Now, I personally don't believe that toilets should be gender neutral as well. I don't believe that a man should go into a woman or a toilet that women use. I wouldn't feel safe with the idea of knowing that, or comfortable, shall I say, with the idea of knowing that a grown man is in the toilet with my daughter being in there. That would fucking mess me up, So, where do you get your trading news from? So, I use my FX book. They have an economic calendar that breaks down news into categories. Okay, we've been live for 1 hour. Guys, I'm going to head off now. Make sure you give this live a like. Share it to a few friends of yours as well who maybe don't know about my content. I'd appreciate that. If you guys enjoy the live streaming, I'll go live on a regular basis, maybe even every night. Who knows? There's a desire for it. Let's get this this live to like 100 likes, man. You know what I'm saying? If we can get this live to 100 likes, then, I might even do this every day, you know? So appreciate you guys for coming on. Oh, it's going to be a tight one, brother. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. We'll have to see. All right. Thank you very much, guys, for jumping on. Appreciate you all. Have a beautiful night. And I will most likely see you guys tomorrow. Peace and love. Take care.